fun and you'd rather drink than fight dragons, the answer you seek is Fungeons and Flagons.
Hello there, travelers, and well met.
Well, welcome to the after show of the finale for Fungeons and Flagons Season 2. We haven't done this before. It was actually a suggestion made by Patreon. This is the kind of stuff that you wanted to see. I've got a couple of questions here I thought we'd go around and answer. Did you guys see the twist coming about the treaty?
No. I literally saw zero of the incoming twists were seen by me.
If you watch carefully, we are both really scratching our noggins trying to figure out where we need to go in that last fight.
It was indeed a pickle.
Yes,
So there was a number of times.
Definition.
There's a number of times throughout the campaign where it would be like, how do you two know each other, the Minotaur and the Dragonborn? I was like, oh God, maybe they had a war together, not sure. And looping in the actual story with all the little bits that happened, nothing made sense.
Nice.
So I had to change the identity to kind of get around that one. But the pro-treaty, anti-treaty, I think about
that
halfway
is
through,
my
I decided
fault,
that.
because I've never done anything like this before. I've never done a D&D thing before, and I didn't know I had to create a backstory. And when you went, what's your backstory? I went, I don't know.
You were awesome.
I don't know.
Great.
I have amnesia.
Amnesia.
Yeah.
Classic trope.
But as a DM, you hear something like that, and your first thought is,
Yeah.
but then the second thought is done. All right, I'm going to work a backstory around that, and you've given me power and control over your destiny. And I
Chloe
was like,
was so
okay.
mad that I did that. So that's like the one thing you never do in a D&D
Oh, because
campaign.
it's improv. It's like the opposite of yes and.
Yeah,
Yes
it's
and.
literally
like,
the opposite.
There's nothing.
There's nothing. Okay, you've given me nothing to play off.
To be fair, I've had a player in our recent campaign who had a character who literally crawled out of his grave and had no memory of his past. That was his backstory.
Yeah.
Crawled out
Yeah.
of his grave.
Next time.
That's awesome.
I'm
We
going
were
to take
actually
that.
going to do something like that. If someone did die, we were going to do this thing where you had like 2 turns to use your soul and find anything else alive and go into
Ooh,
that.
that's fun.
Yeah.
You missed it. You know, you're just like, oh, I'm so happy.
Just Seymour.
What do you guys think of the charges? That was something that we did new this campaign that we haven't done before. We had
Loved
them. With the
them.
magical
Tried to
weapons.
use them as much as I could. They
Yeah.
were super fun. They let me do a Sean Connery voice. They
Yeah.
also
I
like
was so
messed us up
mad,
a lot.
by the way, that I didn't get to do that.
You can do it now. You want to do it now?
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Smash money penny.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's really good.
But
Very nice.
Plus 4.
But no, Jehovah begins with an I.
Junior.
That's so cool.
Samantha, being a spy.
Yes.
I mean, you said it day one. You're like,
Yeah.
what do you do? I'm a
Just-
spy.
just
And I
to-
go, okay.
Just to give myself the excuse of like getting to do voices. Subterfuge.
Subterfuge.
That's it. I'm like, just
You
so that whenever
don't
we meet
say
somebody
that
and you
to-
did a fun voice, I could just do it right back at you. That's basically why I decided to be a spy.
And I made you a complete traitor.
yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome. Until episode 9.
Did I win over everybody by the end? I don't know. They were still mad at me. I sacrificed myself. They were still mad at me. I
You
don't
have
know.
this thing though, even though you're telling the truth, it still
Yeah.
looks like you're hiding something. And even
Are
when
you saying I
rolled
just have a? I
something
just have a
saying that was actually the truth.
I just have a liar face. That's what you're saying. I just have a face of a liar.
Leave it.
Oh boy.
I was really kind of like, I was really hoping that it was going to be a full Kaiser Soze moment and we were going to have to kill him. But
So Matt, the instructions that I gave you was to play 2 completely different roles and to play on this, you have to kill me and please don't kill me. How was that kind of going back and forth between them?
It was fun because, I mean, anyone who's played games like this, the usual player go-to is, kill him. You know, it's a monster, we kill monsters. So it was fun to be able to come into a story with people that were genuinely not sure of the moral ramifications of either choice. And in the middle of a giant battle, having the side of a mountain sundered with giant fists, being like, well, like, hold on. Let's have a discussion of the morality of the choices before us. Just hold on a second. That was
we have done that throughout.
Yeah.
We came across Steve Zaragoza and decided that instead of killing him, we'd all have a sandwich and be friends.
But I love that.
To be fair, he died mere hours after we left.
But he said
natural
that.
causes.
He's like, thank you for this sandwich. I'll remember this until my last day, which is tomorrow. And we were like, what? And we were like, let's get the out of here. It was the funniest. It's so
I mean,
good.
did we kill anything apart from Tiffany?
I killed the tree And that was cool
burnt
because I got
it.
to use the charges, and I had fire feet, and I had the rope.
Yeah.
So that was
That was your
Yeah.
hero moment, wasn't it?
Yep, that was
Yeah.
episode 1.
No.
2?
Yeah, I think episode 2.
That's
Three.
about episode 2.
It was-
Episode 1 was leaving the pub.
Actually, I believe
That
it
was
was.
the
Actually, it was
episode.
episode 4.
Nice.
Wow, what did we do for the first 3 episodes, guys?
Fought little yellow mushrooms for an entire episode
Yeah.
because we couldn't roll above a 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys have some serious
know.
goddamn dice luck.
It's
Like the last episode, I was sitting here like, this
unbelievable.
is Will Wheaton level
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Yes, it is.
Which is on.
It is, yes.
So the big thing that I wanted, like, obviously, I think everyone watched on Netflix the Bandersnatch, and I kind of wanted to have this thing going where it's like, doesn't matter which way I go, there's no win, there's no lose, but it's like there's no clear right answer. What was your thought about the split treaty, and what would you have selected?
Don't like getting lied to, I'll tell you that. But, freedom's freedom. Amen. God bless America. So it's
Who
like,
are you?
it's pretty tough.
Merkel!
This is who he is right there.
You grow a mustache for 3 days.
I drew the cat werewolf.
Oh my god!
That's who I am.
We'll take a photo of that and put it on the Bomber Backers
Just a big buff,
Instagram.
cute
He
little
just drew
cat.
that really
You know-
quick.
That's great.
There's a one of my favorite writers is a guy called David Gemmell, and he used to write about it was one of his stories. He related this story where a blood god worshipping madman would surround a city and besiege it. And he would say to them inside, he would say, if you sacrifice one baby to me, I will spare your city. And if you don't, I will destroy and kill everybody inside. And the moral that they eventually lead up to is you don't commit one smaller evil to prevent a greater evil.
Yeah.
And that's why this was an impossibility, because personally, I would choose free will at all times. But to achieve that, you have to commit an evil. And that is not something that should be done. So that was my moral quandary.
It's like the end of the Dark Knight with the 2 fairies, one full of innocent people and one full of like
I thought you said
convicts.
fairies.
I heard that too. I was like, is that director's cut?
The fair, like fairy is an
Ferry.
Ferry.
This thing was trapped in the Feywild for 3 weeks.
Ferry boat, yes. And those 2
Yeah.
boats full of people.
Like
and
in the
you
Dark Knight when they went to Neverland.
you would think the choice would be simple, like get rid of convicts. It's like they're people, they're human beings,
Yeah.
and it was one of them that made the choice for them. He's like, we're not going to push the button to kill the other
Who's
ones.
the one that pulls the trigger?
So
And
what
I
would you
couldn't
have
do it.
done?
Yeah.
What would you have done?
I think it's a really tough. It's so fun and so tough and so juicy. I love the Star Trek motto of the good of the many. The good of the
many outweighs the good.
the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the one
Yeah.
of the few or the one.
Yeah.
I love that, but that meant that you lose one of your favorite characters, Spock.
Yeah.
Like, could you sacrifice somebody close to you to do that?
I know when it's a nameless, faceless person.
It's easy. Could you, if in that impossible hypothetical, if somebody came up to you and they were like, "You have to die now to save 1 million people," would you do it?
Yeah.
And it's like,
I had
yes.
nightmares about that, where I was the one sacrificed from the town to get eaten by the giant anaconda
Why?
that Catwoman was controlling.
What?
Classic
Yeah.
storyline.
Did that happen?
Did you watch The Good
Recurring
Place?
No, I'm starting to because I've been recommended it so many times.
Have you heard the hypothetical they
No,
have?
what is that?
So you're driving a train.
Yeah.
And
classic moral.
yeah,
Ooh,
it is.
okay.
You're driving a train, and if you go this way, you will you'll plow into 10 innocent people.
Sure.
But if you go to the right, you'll plow into one member of your family.
Yeah.
10
rolled
innocent
a one on that.
strangers,
You just rolled
one
a
member of
one.
your
I
family.
did.
Damn.
And it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
And
It's easy to go for the greater good.
logic tells you where to
yes,
go.
yes.
The initial instinct is, oh my God, I've got to protect
But those
this.
10 people
Yeah.
are everyone else's one.
That's
Yeah,
the
someone
problem,
else's
yeah.
one. Yeah.
There's no win. And
No.
the truth is, in that situation, if we were in truth and yeah, you
That's
would
on you.
you would do the right thing then, which is not kill somebody
Correct.
and hope that at some point we are afforded another opportunity
That's
to
what happened.
escape.
That's what you
That's
did.
what happened. Yes, that's what happened. My reasoning at the end was like, I think Rob's going to lean into this heart thing. And he did have an opportunity at one point to cleanse the giant, to like heal the giant or heal us. And he literally chose his friends.
Yeah.
And my whole thing was like, take me out of the equation.
Yeah, because if you lifted the enchantment,
Yeah.
that's it.
What could that have done?
Oh, well, that would
What-
have restored the treaty.
Restored the treaty, meaning there would have been an unnatural peace
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So it's like, but like, I think that the best possible thing happened where Matt went away and he came back. He's like, "We're talking it out," like, which was so funny. It's so great. Yeah.
What would you have done then, Matt?
Oh man.
Had you been a player in that situation? Pro-treaty, anti-treaty?
It was a rough call. I wasn't sure which way you guys were gonna go because I'm not sure which way I would go. I would probably lean towards free will. Yeah. I'm a big believer in being in charge of your own destiny, and just because somebody is unable of creating or bringing violence to another person doesn't mean they're not capable of evil in other ways. So even a peace treaty, I'm sure there are probably ways of manipulating the laws involved there.
That's true. That's very true.
In my imagination.
Yeah, no, that's real life.
I'm more often than not, because this is D&D and not real life, I would have sliced your head off so hard, and that trophy and glory that the town of Truth, like the lands of Truth,
How are you going to carry
would
it?
have given me, knowing I was a giant slayer, I would be a god to these people, and I restored the balance. Yeah. That's a win-win to me. You guys
they
couldn't
wouldn't
kill
care.
a giant?
No, to be
Couldn't
fair,
kill a giant.
I did a super
killing
cool,
a giant is the coolest.
I did this super cool bro move where I punched a hole through a ship, and everyone was like, "Why'd you do that?" But it was like, "Cause it was cool." I did a giant fist, and it was awesome.
And
everyone
all of
was
a sudden, there's women and children on the boat,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Please, quick,
It's
save
easy.
me.
It's easy. If you had played the giant, Maude, if you had played the giant as an NPC,
yeah.
I think that I would have been right on the same page with you. But you brought in Matthew Mercer, and his name was Chris.
Yeah.
Like that.
Chris Kringle.
As soon as he said that, I could see these guys going, I don't want to kill this guy. His name's
I know,
Chris.
it was like, slaughtermouth or something like that.
I had this whole
Like
giant name planned out in advance, and in the moment it was like, it's gone. Yeah. Chris it is.
Chris.
That's the thing about Fungeons. I will put you on the spot about
Yeah.
something. Oh
I
my
love it.
god.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we end up with the joy of Deporbage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a story in that one.
There's no way Derek doesn't come back as a lead villain.
Yeah.
At some point, Derek is coming back.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
remember me? Okay.
In like a giant mech suit now.
By
He's
the way,
huge.
Derek, as well as all of my NPC characters, accent changed 6 times
Oh, yeah.
without fail.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
What one thing would you have changed about your character?
Not water weakness.
Oh,
Really throw that one in the.
4 times in a row you've been there?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I melted one time.
Yeah, you actually
Yeah, like
physically
Way
started
Witch.
melting.
Yeah, but then I came back and I got the win.
Yeah, that's true.
Big W.
I wouldn't have made the name of the thing or entity that killed my family so difficult to pronounce. I would have kept it simple,
Instead of
and Skraisanthingos
Yeah.
or whatever it was,
Santos.
which became a joke. But I'm like, I think I would have left it just be like, Jennifer or something. So Tiffany could have been like, I'm Jennifer.
I like this trend of very normal names.
What would you have changed about Dave or Smod?
I really like Dave and Smod. I don't know. I guess from watching Chloe's episodes, I think I'd have maybe had Dave loosen up a bit and maybe drink because she had fun. And my Dave was always a bit serious. Again, was finding my way through this, figuring it out, and yes, really, I'm understanding that a bit better now. That's a definite thing. But yeah, no, I think they all kind of fit and work well together.
A lot of people saying this is the favorite season so far.
Boom.
Yeah, the best yet.
Thanks.
What skill or ability or the gameplay did you admire about the other person? Personally, gosh, you pick up what I put down. Thank you so much. That was great.
Oh, no, that was
This was
great.
just like, we had like A or B and we ended up with an F. So it was like A, B, C, D, E.
You provided a hint, and Mercer just came back and he's like, yeah, here it is, and like laid it all out there. And we're like, great.
My God,
He's-
it's like,
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
Chloe always told me, she said,
Yeah.
Matt Mercer is the greatest games master of
Yeah, yeah,
all time.
yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Boom.
She was great though. I miss
Yeah.
playing with that girl.
Yeah.
I appreciate. I had like having someone who could do voices. Big fan of that. When you just gave your speech for a second, I thought you were slipping into Steve's Neeple voice, and I was like doing this like, what do our choices mean? And I was like,
That was
don't do this.
that was my favorite bit of the season.
Yeah.
It was your one joke. That was not your one joke of the season.
That was the only funny thing you said.
when they said you had to speak in that accent, and you went, "Oh, you can't be mad at me." Absolutely.
Yeah, that
I
was
was
great.
on the floor.
That was great. That was
Even
great.
when I've watched it back, I had to take a break.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I liked well, I mean, Sam's done this before, and Sam knows what he's doing. And Sam's character was immensely likable. Here's what's great about Sam: was able to change character on the fly. Like so much of Sam changed his power
Adapt.
set, his name, adaptation's the name of the game. Rob, for the kind of first time he's really done this, he was so good at picking things up, rolling with bits. When we would be making each other laugh or trying to make you laugh, like he knew when something was getting you, like he's gonna jump on that.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of this, and was so fun. And then he knew to still rein it in and do the character thing, but like for him to want to be totally down with jumping in and messing around, like it made it super fun.
We tried really hard to suck.
Yeah.
Like, we were really bad at fighting things.
Yeah.
But we were really good at like being nice to people.
Yeah.
And only because you would be like, and you rolled a 1 and it's enough.
Yeah.
Did we ever get anywhere in this goddamn
you
game?
get plus 16 on this roll.
Snap your arm back
Yeah.
into his socket. Yeah.
Roll more than a 2 and you win everything.
It's a
I don't
one.
know if you guys noticed this about Sam and his gameplay. It's one of my favorite things to see, and it happened in this one as well. He gets so flustered about nearly dying or something bad happening, and he gets this idea. He rolls a dice before he's even explained what he's going to do, and I have to go stop, and you're like, no, because that's going to happen. And it's just like, he cannot just take a second.
Yeah.
It's just so extreme, and just to see you so flabbergasted is always my favorite.
We had such a great like from Jeremy, Tiffany, Amy,
Yeah.
Steve,
had
Gina,
Amy,
Tiffany.
Gina,
Oh, yeah.
and Matt. We
Yeah.
we had a really good team of people, and Chloe.
Absolutely.
Guys,
as
my
well.
favors have run out. Calling it a lie.
We'll start calling on our friends, but I do want to say because we've done this for a
Yeah,
while now.
4
Now
times.
this team felt the most like not that any other ones were like bad or anything, but it just felt the most like accepting to be like, let's try this, let's try
Yeah.
this, let's try this. It felt open, and it was always a pleasure. It's always fun.
Always fun.
Yeah, the best groups are the ones that can trust in each other's decisions and facilitate each other's direction.
Yeah.
There you go.
A lot of games I've played in the past, there's people who all have their own individual agendas,
Yes.
and they aren't willing to bend or change the trajectory of what they're going on. That was not a problem here. It was great.
So wait, this whole thing is reversed? Okay. No problem. Wait.
I told Maude as soon as she did the episode when Tiffany showed up and she made it so that her character was the one that killed my family and like I got my revenge. I walked out of there and I was like, I'm good for the rest of the thing. Maude was like, okay, you're gonna be the spy. I was like, sure, cool, sure, bring it on, whatever.
You knew this whole time.
Up until like halfway
Yeah.
through, kind
You
of,
wanna
sort
talk
of.
about that? How
Yeah.
that happened? Yeah.
Basically, is how that happened. Was that when you sort of told me, or did you tell me from the beginning? At what
No.
point did you say?
Halfway through.
Halfway through, you're like, okay, because you're a spy, we're gonna make it so that you have this secret agenda. And she didn't tell me everything. She only told me this thing that like you're keeping something from the other two.
You know
I
about Grimlock?
remember you passed him a piece of paper once.
I don't think that was it.
And I didn't read it, and I was like, "What's that?" And you
I
went,
forgot. I forgot what that was.
Same.
No, I forgot what that was. But
It was secrets.
but Maude sort
Secrets.
of, that happened in the story.
Well, I wanted to make sure that at all times, and you have to understand this as well, that everyone has their own thing that they're working towards,
Yeah.
their own agenda, their goals. And a lot
Yeah.
of the time, it's like when you have
I'm
a
going to
clear
change
goal.
this TBC to DVD
Yeah.
as well.
No, it's not. You got your heart.
I did. No,
It
but
literally
the
was
being
your heart.
TBC,
You were confirmed.
I'm an idiot.
You're
with having a
confirmed.
heart.
I'm confirmed. I have a
You have
heart.
been confirmed.
No, and it did kind of feel like, okay, my character arc's done, because
That's
that
it
was part of
halfway
my
through.
that was part of my quest was like Sky Centros killed my family.
Yep.
Maude
And I was
helped
like,
me
easy,
achieve that.
done.
And then after that, what next? So then it
You
was
said spy.
brilliant to go.
And then
keeping
for
stuff.
you the whole time, I really liked this notion where I was pitting up pro-treaty, anti-treaty, and it was kind of going to be up to you to figure out, this was your best friend.
You're in a pickle.
But then kept a huge secret from you.
Yeah.
You'd gain trust from this person. And so it was like that. You were like the tipping scale with that. And you also turned into a goddamn werewolf.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
That was a real curveball.
Yes. For me,
I said it like 7 times. I would say it in the recap where you got bitten by the wolf, but Tad, now Hector, got bitten by the alpha. Like,
Well, I
Oh,
just
yeah.
thought that they were like vampires. Like if you kill the alpha, all things beneath it would lose the
do
ability
you
to
notice
change.
how much I tried the alpha to run away?
Oh, yeah.
Every time. It's
Yeah,
like
but
you
you
strike it away, run away. And you're
you
like,
really did.
You're like,
you like took each knee out. Each foot. Like, you really,
seriously, it's trying to run away. And it's like, okay, that's
Yeah.
not working. Please, can I run away? Okay, that's not working. And then you smashed its head in. And I'm like,
I got to use
in a
it.
Patrick Bateman kind of
Yeah.
way. Like you really went for it.
and I'm here going, you're still going to turn into a werewolf, bitch. So I knew that for a while.
Yeah.
I planned Spy for about 5
Yep,
seasons.
yep.
Yours was interesting. So it was like you had this trident, and it was someone from Patreon that had this great backstory about a legendary weapon. And we all voted and we're like, yeah, we'll use a trident. You got to choose which one you wanted. But it was like these elemental stones within the trident, but they're not in there anymore. They're dispersed across the land. And I was like, yoink, that's great. I love that. The air stone was something that we've been playing around with because you happen to be an air genasi. And that's... only found out about that this session as well.
Yeah, it fell out of the skull at one point. I was like,
I know. I said be surreptitious.
Who came up with the Garda Chloe scenario?
When me initially, so when from episode 2, when you got your legendary weapons and Grimlong dispersed and your weapons were imbued with the souls of legends past, anytime someone was going to be sick, the soul from the weapon was going to take over.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
so that was my contingency plan.
Yeah, I remember because before the season started, I was like, look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to commit to a season because my schedule's weird. And you were
he
like,
tried to back out.
You were like, I've got a plan.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was, right, that was
And we got a Chloe for 2 episodes, so we all won, you know?
fun.
All right, the last thing that I want to talk to you about really quickly, well, my last question was what's going to be done with the Garda Trident? You solved that one.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
That worked out.
I got a bunch of other weapons you picked
What's
up.
your what's your character doing now? Pretend this is the 5 years later, or 3 months later, or whatever it is. What's your character doing now? That chaos exists as well as love and passion. Were you just knee deep in a brothel?
No, I'm depressed.
Oh.
I'm drinking my days away because it turns out Samantha, what he really wanted in the end was true friendship. And the way things ended, these guys were not
Happy with you.
happy with me.
So what happened with the relationship?
Well, I went to war immediately. I was
The blood of my enemies were on my body.
Yeah, and I did that for a while, and I was like, this is fun.
And you keep going for your boobs. that
Yeah,
don't
but it's
exist
this is not what I needed. So I found him, and
In the tavern.
in the
in the
depression.
tavern. And now we're in a really happy relationship.
What kind
Yeah.
of relationship?
The kind that he always wanted.
Yes.
Does
That
he,
turned out that was
Super
what I
tight
needed
good
bros.
with air?
It's
Very good with air.
super tight bros
Super tight.
who occasionally bang.
Yeah.
That's the relationship
Yeah.
that we have.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, man.
Genasi has to be a
I'd invite you, but you don't want to.
I don't, that's not my
cool,
thing.
it's cool.
You know?
Totally cool.
I work on me.
Totally cool.
I'm good. No,
What
Yeah.
happened with Wechter?
I'm gonna be honest. Emotions all in a big old knot because pissed at him. Did kind of kill him at one point. He came back, so I should let that
you
go. But
accidentally
it's
killed
really
your best
tough.
friend.
So I'm kind of just being like, see ya. So I go off to war because now I've got the body of a werewolf and I've got the golden fleece because they didn't get used on anything because they got stopped.
Yeah.
And I also have all these neat little trinkets.
How much
and
money did you
tricks.
make from those? Did you sell them?
Oh no, I go into war with that. Those are my trophies, and I collect all the weapons from all of the other people
So this
that I beat.
peace-loving, treasure
You
hunting
did this.
little dude turns into this badass, epic warrior
hoarder.
with legends told about him, and he just cleans up on the
She
battlefield.
has weapons for you.
Seriously, you're like a walking museum there
Yeah.
as well. What happened with Chris?
5 days later, he's sitting there going through the Sky office, pouring through contracts and paperwork, going, "What is that? Yeah, dragons! I did not read for enough into this. This is on me. This is on me. I am so sorry."
Yeah, let's not forget that in those 5 years,
Yeah.
there be dragons.
There be dragons.
There be dragons.
That's right.
I like a little cliffhanger like that.
I like that.
Well, there you go. That's the after show for Fungeons and Flagons Season 2. Comment below. What was your favourite moment? What was your favourite part? What would you like to see if there is a next season? Goodness, I need to have a 6-month break. I'm not going to lie. That's quite exhausting. But thank you for joining me for the after show. Take care. Follow these guys on their journeys. Did I get you in the face?
Bye.
Microphone.
Bye.